Hey friends, Kevin here from the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 to Today YouTube channel, and today we're going to be doing a band review on one of my favorite bands, the Hollywood Undead. Okay, so first let's go through how this video is going to go. First, I'm going to go through my little history with the band, how I found out about them and where they stand with me today. Then I'm going to go quickly through each of their 5 albums, plus the EP they came out with at the end of 2018 and give you my thoughts on them. Then I'll tell you my favorite part about the band along with my least favorite part about the band. Then I will go into what my favorite song is and rate the band on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being the worst, 10 being the best, and I'll tell you why. So let's just get on with the show. Alrighty, so I first found out about the band. Let's go back to the year 2011. Now this is when all the Charlie Sheen, 2.5 Men, Tiger Blood, winning stuff was coming out, because my brother said you gotta take a listen to this song, and it ended up being Everywhere I Go by the Hollywood Undead, and it sounded like, everywhere I go, yeah, Charlie Sheen has got a weenie that he loves to show. So I thought it said Charlie Sheen, not Charlie Sheen, so I thought it was just a funny song, for the time frame that it was in. And I didn't really know who played it or anything, so I just kind of let it go. Let's jump forward into 2012. Now, I kind of come out of my shell. This was in the summer between my junior and senior year of high school. Had a bunch of great friends, and they said, let's go to the show. We're going to go see the band Hollywood Undead. Now, I had never heard of them before up to this point, and I thought, you know what, let's go. I'll go. We'll see what happens. I was listening to their music, and I'm like, this is different. It's got that, rap metal style to it. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I was listening to the songs. Of course, at this time, they only played stuff off of Swan Songs and American Tragedy, so of course, you're getting good stuff there. All of a sudden, everything is done. They go back. People are waiting for an encore, and all of a sudden, you hear, Everywhere I Go. And then it just hit me right then and there. I'm like, oh my God, this is this group? Oh Lord, yeah, hell yeah, let's go. And I was hooked right then and there. Then 2013, I saw them again. 2014, I saw them again, all at the same venue. Then I hadn't seen them since about 2017. I've seen the band 4 times. So in 2017, they were playing with Butcher Babies as their opener. And of course, this was right after the album 5 came out. And now I was psyched for this show. It was a great show. It was a great thing. I needed that show. So I still listen to the band a lot today, especially coming up and making this video. I've been listening to the band a whole lot more to prepare myself for it. So yeah, this band is in very good standing with me, so why don't we take a look at the albums, shall we? So Swan Songs was the band's first release back in the year 2008, and in my opinion, in terms of overall sound, their first album is their best. Now this is in terms of overall sound, because I think they kind of had their own style of nu metal basically, because with nu metal, there was some rap in there, but more metal, but this band was a lot more centered around rap in terms of the lyrical content and the lyrical style. However, when it came down to it, when you're listening to the instrumentation, that is full-on metal, and the mixture really played well here. And they kind of showed they could go through a little bit of range. When you're looking at harder songs that really hit you hard in terms of metal, whether fast-paced or slow-paced, you're going to look at songs like Undead, Young, and Paradise Lost. Those songs are going to hit you really hard in terms of, just the sound, the metal sound that you hear, along with the vocals and some of the rapping as well. You're also going to hear some of the softer sounds that are able to, have more fun with and just kind of relax and just be more of a rap group than more of a metal group. And you're going to hear that in songs like, of course, Everywhere I Go, and also on number 5. They've also shown that they can go deep as well with some very hard content when it comes to the emotion behind it. In this album, you got to look at the song City. That song really gets into that, emo emotion kind of style, but they put in their own rap metal style in there as well. It's more rap rock at that point, but they showed that in terms of sound, I think that is their best album. American Tragedy was the second album that Hollywood Undead released, and this was in 2010. Now, in my opinion, throughout all 5, this is the most consistent hard album of the 5, mostly because I think they showed in this album that there was a lot of animosity going on in the group, which we know about, and I'll get to right after this, but it really showed in a lot of their music because the instrumentation was hard, the themes were a lot darker and deeper, and just had a harder feel to a more callous feel, and the rap style was a little bit more centered towards a harsher style. Now, we all know this was around the time when Deuce was leaving the band because of creative differences, and now those guys, the Hollywood Undead and Deuce, pretty much don't really like each other anymore. So you can see that animosity really kind of came out in this album. When you look at those different styles of songs they use on this album, there are some that are really, really hard that I really like in terms of sound. I mean, just listen to Bend to Hell that has a very hard instrumentation and the theme is dark. Lights Out is a punch in the gut type song. And now you've got Hear Me Now, which is also, Don't Keep Me Down. I'm not going to be down. Hear Me Now is just out there. Along with Tendencies, which is hard, but it's a lot faster paced, and it really just kind of is all in your face, and I absolutely love it. Now, there are some harder songs that don't necessarily sound like they're hard, but they deal with a lot of deep content. I'm talking about Bullet, because this sounds like a happy-go-lucky song, and it is not. It's all about suicide. But they also showed they can go a couple of different ways as well. They show they can go with Coming Down, where they can go back to that softer style and really be more sentimental. And they showed they can still be fun as well with Coming In Hot. And every time I've seen the band, or the past 2 times I should say, that they played Coming In Hot, they've brought a kid on stage along with them to basically perform with them while they're playing Coming In Hot, which is, I gotta say, that's always a riot, and I always love seeing it. Notes from the Underground is the band's 3rd release that came out right at the beginning of 2013, and in my opinion, this is the quintessential and best Hollywood Undead album. I remember this album came out right at the time when my grandma died, and I had to take my brother back to school because I was a senior in high school at the time. I had to take him back to college, and on my way back, I had like 90 minutes, about an hour and a half, so I popped on the album because it just had come out, and I listened to it 2 times through, and my God, I just absolutely love it. In terms of sound composition, lyrical content, just the way that the instrumentation and the vocals fit together, this album had it all, and I absolutely love it. Now, the album is not as hard as American Tragedy was, but they still deal with, I think, deeper themes. You got songs like We Are, that we are made from broken parts, just kind of just that anthemic song. Lion is just as anthemic and very deep. It does go hard at points as well. You've got Rain and Believe, which are just very quintessential, softer sounding songs, but they really do well with a little bit of a softer rap style that's more of a reflective style. And then Medicine, I just think it's a great mixture, especially with the chorus. I love the way that chorus is done. But they also show that they can go hard as well and continue that hard style that they have put out there, like Dead Bite, Kill Everyone, and From the Ground. They have shown that they can still do that, especially on this album, and it worked out well. They've shown that on Pigskin they can still have fun like they did in the previous 2, but in comparison to Everywhere I Go and Coming In Hot, Pigskin does fall short. But in terms of an overall composition of the album, this is the best Hollywood Undead album, in my opinion. Day of the Dead is the band's 4th release that came out in 2015, and with this album, I think they try to bounce around a lot in terms of style and sound to see what they could do, where they could experiment, and I do think this is a rather good album as well. I think they hit the mark on a lot of different areas. I mean, they showed they can still go hard, not as hard as I think they went in American Tragedy, and not as hard as some of the songs on Swan Songs, but they still went hard. I really do like Usual Suspects. It's a great opener. Day of the Dead is a killer track. It is fantastic, and the music video for it is great as well. And Live Forever is a hard but faster paced song, and it just really works here. They show they can also have some fun as well still with War Child, which I do think is better than Pigskin, but in terms of comparing with Coming In Hot and, of course, Everywhere I Go, I think it misses the mark here as well. I mean, not necessarily misses the mark, but just doesn't have that same kind of power. They show that they can try to go a little bit deeper with a more faster-paced sound. I think they tried to really go off of the notes of the Underground style on this couple of tracks, but I think they kind of missed the mark. I'm talking about tracks like Disease and Gravity. I think they tried to, capture some of that, and I think they fell short a little bit here. However, all in all, there are some bright spots on this album, specifically with the titular track, Live Forever, and I think Usual Suspects as well. 5, of course, is the band's 5th album that came out in 2017, and out of the 5 albums, I hate to say this, but this is the weakest one out of the 5, mostly because they really kind of took a step back and went weaker on a bunch of different songs. If you listen to songs like Bad Moon, Ghost Beach, and Nobody's Watching, they really try and play off of Danny's strength as a vocalist and try and get away from that rap rock style or rap metal style. Don't get me wrong, those songs do have their place on the album, but in terms of what the band has done beforehand and really led up to this point, it was an experimentation, and I just like that harder sound that they have really created, so I just thought it was a little bit of a weaker choice, but then again, it does work out here. Riot as a song is basically the song here that shows that they can still have fun. I do like it better than Pigskin and War Child, but still does not compare to Coming In Hot or Everywhere I Go in this case. The songs where the band goes hard once again, I think they did a fantastic job on. The lead single, California Dreamer, when that came out, I was hooked on this album right then and there because that track is absolutely killer. As you go through, We Own the Night and Your Life are just the exact same way. They are hard-hitting sounds with those classic Hollywood Undead sounds, and they're killer. I love them as songs. I listen to California Dreamer all the time, and I don't think it's their best album, but again, like Day of the Dead, there are some bright spots. Not as many as Day of the Dead had, but there are bright spots in this album that you can easily find. So lastly, their EP Psalms came out right at the end of 2018. They released a single off it, Gotta Let Go, back around July 2018, and I was kind of thrown back by that song because it was a lot softer, but it had a lot more of a, let's see, reflective and retrospective idea and message behind it. And I think they actually did it very well. They really experimented on the whole Psalms album, or EP I should say, when it comes to songs like, of course, we're going to go with Gotta Let Go and Bloody Nose, where they went really hard on. And there's 3 others in there as well. I like the fact they did kind of a quick turnaround after 5 with 5 songs that they did some experimentation. And I'm glad they put it in an EP because it doesn't have that full strength of an album, but it does have bits and pieces where it does work. I didn't like the whole entire thing, but when it comes to Gotta Let Go and Bloody Nose, I did like those songs a whole lot. What I like most about this band is their ability to really experiment and work well with, at the time, 6 different vocalists with that rap rock style, because of course you're going to have different guys that have different sounds with their style. You're going to have guys that are grittier, guys that are smoother, guys that are more soft-spoken, guys that can scream it out. And I love the way that they experiment with all of those different voices and how they mesh together so well. I'm going to focus on 3. I'm not really going to go into J-Dog, Funny Man, or Da Curls with Da Curls screaming, just because they're not as prominent as these other 3 members of the band when it comes to their song styles. However, they are instrumental to this process because they do come through strong on some songs, especially with the screams, especially I believe Funny Man on California Dreamin'. He does a great job on that. But the 3 I'm going to go off on are Johnny 3 Tears, Charlie Scene, and Danny. Let's go with Johnny 3 Tears first, because he's got that grittier version of a voice where it's just deeper and dark and can go hard at any given time. And if you're going to really be dealing with like a harsher style, I mean, my God, can he just hammer it home. Paradise Lost is a great example of this, along with Day of the Dead. I believe you listen to those songs, you're going to hear Johnny 3 Tears. It's going to be a great song. And even on his part in Gotta Let Go with a little bit more of a grittier singing voice, like singing rap style, he did a fantastic job. It really sounds good. He's got some kind of range. I'm going to go next to Charlie Scene, who I think he has, as a vocalist, the most amount of range in, not the most amount of range in his voice, but most amount of range in what he can do with his voice, where he can fit in. Because I've seen him go hard at times, kind of like he's gone hard in Day of the Dead. He's gone hard in songs like Hear Me Now. He's gone soft in songs like Gotta Let Go. And he's had some that fun rap rock style, like in, of course, Coming In Hot, and of his big one, Everywhere I Go. But his vocal style, especially when it comes to rap, when he's kind of more going soft, hard, just singing, whatever, he's got range to really go and bounce in between all of those sounds and, you know, subgenres, genres of rock. Danny is the most interesting one of the group because he never really raps. He just sings most of the time. And he's got a very intricate voice where he just kind of belts it out, and it is a great contrast between the rap rock style of the other members of the band. And when he comes in there and is prominently featured, man, can he really shine. I'm going to go with Bend to Hell with his part in the chorus because he can really put out there along with Hear Me Now. You can really hear the contrast in it. Of course, I'm going to look at We Are as well because that might be Danny's best song for the whole entire discography of Hollywood Undead. He does a phenomenal job with the whole entire thing. Not only that, but if you listen to basically all of the 5th album, Danny is very heavily featured on the whole entire thing, and it is a good mix. It's a good way to experiment. It's not something that, you know, I necessarily would have enjoyed listening to as, you know, my favorite album, but I do enjoy listening to some songs like Bad Moon and Ghost Beach here and there. He does have a very talented voice, and live, he is very talented as well. Just belting it out, belting out those sounds. He's still got it, and it is great. That's why I love this band, because you've got 6 different guys. They've all got different styles in their singing abilities and their rap rock style, but they all fit together so well. So what I like least about the band is when you kind of talk about Hollywood Undead, people that really aren't big fans of the band kind of put you and put them in a box. And the reason they do that is because sometimes haven't listened to them in a long time. They're like, oh, you still listen to them? Or wait, I thought that band broke up. And aren't they like frat guys or something? I got the frat guys one, of course, from Coming in Hot and Everywhere I Go. And it's like, well, if you've listened to anything else, it's completely different. They like to have fun, too, with some of their songs, but they get very serious and very dark and very deep with some of their sounds. And it's kind of the, oh, we grew out of it. But again, people that are saying, we grew out of Hollywood Undead. They're listening to Ed Sheeran and Beyonce and, like, I don't know, Cardi B. Who cares? But it's just like, come on. This is a great band. You don't got to just, throw me under the bus, because if you're going to throw me under the bus on that, I'm going to give it right back at you. One of the other reasons why I really don't, kind of dislike the band, I should say, not that I really hate them, but it's the one thing that kind of grinds my gears is the people that have listened to them. It's like, oh, I haven't heard him since American Tragedy, or I haven't heard him since Swan Songs, and they basically thought this band was completely gone when they haven't heard Notes from the Underground, which of course is their best album. They completely have kind of wrote this band off after pretty much their formative high school years. It's like, come on, this band puts out some great music, some killer music. You gotta listen to it, especially if you haven't heard the whole Notes from the Underground album. Oh my lord, you gotta listen to it. So that's why, it's like the thing I dislike about the band the most is the fact that kind of where they are in pop culture. If you say you like them, it kind of puts you in a box, and it just, as a fan, it kind of irritates me, but only on the smallest degree. So now time for my favorite song by the band, and it comes off of Notes from the Underground. It is We Are. I do like songs off of each of the albums, though. Undead from Swan Songs, they're basically their first song ever, kind of came in here as well, because I really do like that song. Hear Me Now off of American Tragedy, Day of Dead off of Day of the Dead, and California Dreamin' off of 5 all fit in this list. But there is something about We Are that kind of just gets to me. It is put so well together in terms of the instrumentation, how it flows through the chorus, through the verses, through the breakdown, through the bridge, everything. When it comes to how the rap style is being done, it's not overbearing, it's not soft, it's not hard, but it's there, and it just really complements what Danny is doing throughout the rest of the song incredibly well. It gives off that vibe of like a phoenix rising from the ashes, because gives you that idea of, you were made for broken parts. Maybe, you're not perfect. You've gone through some stuff, but that's what makes you great. When you listen to Danny sing the chorus, the we are made from broken parts, man, you feel like you're ready to just, give it out and be like, yeah, this is me. Then you get to the bridge and then the breakdown where you get the no one can take away what's ours. That part is anthemic as all hell. And when I listen to it, it's kind of my own version of the Rocky theme, because it's just like, it gets me amped up. And the one thing I want to do is I'm trying to run an Ironman this year. So when I run across finish line, this is the song I really want to be listening to. And that part is going to be the part that right before I cross finish line, I want to be listening to that. Mostly because it shows it's like you can do anything you want. You can just kill it with whatever you want to. Not kill people, but you can just, kill whatever you are doing, crush it. That's a better way to put it. You can crush it. Kind of like Gary Vaynerchuk says. You can crush it, because this song just makes you feel like you have the power to do it, and you do. So it's just like, yeah! Woo! Man, I love this song. All right, time for my rating on the band, and I'm going to give the Hollywood Undead a 9 out of 10. So why does Hollywood Undead get a 9 out of 10, which is one of the higher ratings we've given? It's on par with what I gave with Linkin Park, but behind what I've given Disturbed. It's because that rap rock style, that rap metal style that they have created is so unique and also very anthemic at times, that whether they're going hard, soft, they're kind of going goofy, whatever it may be, they balance it out so well with that rap rock style that it just kills it. And I went through so many songs that they have done that on in the album reviews, like quick album review, and why I like the band so much and why I like We Are so much as well. It fits so well. Not only that, but you've got 5 vocalist can't rap, and you got Duck Curls, who basically just there to scream. I think he also plays guitar as well, and they balance that out so well to make sure that everyone is featured at times and that their strengths are shown. It is very well done. Now, their previous album was not as strong, or 5 I should say, was not as strong as the other previous releases, but that doesn't necessarily knock them down too much. Plus, they still have this stigma around them that's kind of like the frat boy kind of, rap metal band, whatever, because of songs like Everywhere I Go and Coming in Hot. But I still like listening to those songs, and they should not have that stigma whatsoever, because if you listen to every single other track, you're not going to find stuff like that. They like to have fun. They like to be, hard and just go at it with certain songs. They like to be sentimental as well, and more pondering, maybe more thoughtful, and just deep as well. They can hit it all. They've got a fantastic style, and if you had listened to them in the past and you're like, oh, I stopped listening to them, you gotta listen to them and start with the whole Notes from the Underground album. You gotta start listening to them again. Alright, that's it for me. Thank you for watching the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 to Today band review on one of my favorite bands, the Hollywood Undead. If you think I got it right, give me that like button. If you think I got it wrong, give me that dislike button. But always comment why, because I'll look at them, I'll answer them, and I will talk music with you. Also, if you are not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Because we put out new videos every Wednesday, so hit that subscribe button right there, and then hit that bell icon, because you will be notified every time we release a new video every Wednesday, or if we do a special one. Now, we are on lots of different social platforms, so if you're not following us on there, you gotta be kidding me. You better be following us on there. We've got our Facebook page. We've got our Twitter page. We've got our Instagram page. You're going to want to follow all of those. I've got links in the description below, so just click on them, follow them, you'll be good to go. Also, we have just started a podcast called Chord Progression. We just talk rock music on there, and if you want to be on there, here's what you got to do. First, follow us on either Spotify or iTunes, because that's where we are. And then if you want to be on the show to basically talk rock music with yours truly, send us a message either to my email. It's kevin@mysongoftheday.com. Or if you're following us on any of our social platforms, DM us and let us know that you are interested in talking rock music with us, because we will be more than willing to talk with you, especially me. So, and if you want to talk about the Hollywood Undead, hell yeah, I'm more than willing to talk about them, so let's go. Last and most importantly, if you have an Amazon Echo and you are not subscribed to the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 to Today Alexa skill, or do not have it enabled on your device, you have got to be kidding me, because it is fantastic. So here's what you're going to do. You can either look at your Amazon Alexa and say, hey Alexa, enable My Song of the Day Rock 2000 to Today Alexa skill, and Alexa will take care of it. Or you can click the link in the description below, and you can hit the enable button right when it goes up there, and it'll be enabled on your device. Then all you have to do is say, hey Alexa, play my song of the day. And then, boom, you'll get a quick 5-second intro from me telling you what day it is, what the actual date is, month and day number. Little quick intro, not very long, maybe 5 seconds for this whole entire thing. Give you the song, the artist, and then the whole song plays in its entirety. And once it's over, boom, it's done. And you want to listen to it again, just say, hey Alexa, play my song of the day, and boom, you can hear it for 24 hours. And then once that next day hits, you can say it again, and I'll get you a whole new song. You listen to it as many times as you want. This is the reason why we're here, and this is very important to me, so if you could please enable that on your Alexa device, I would be more than happy and more than thankful. So previously, and well, just kind of putting it out front, thank you. And then that's it for me, guys. This is Kevin from the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 Day YouTube channel. I end all my videos like this, so we're going to end it with the see ya!